I'm your host, Davida Shinsky, and you're listening to Live Without Limits Dreams Come True with the Right Mindset. And today's presentation is titled Habit Stacking and Showing Up, Building Better Habits One Step at a Time. Now, here's the thing that to have good habits, to have healthy relationships, you need to be aware of the fact that it takes 21 days to change a habit. And that's because you're constantly repeating it. Once you get to the point that it's so ingrained in you, then you do it automatically and you don't even realize what you're doing. So, habit stacking, 1% better, showing up. There are lots of buzzwords out there, but how can they help you actually build the habits to achieve your goals? Recently, the Daily Motivation team started a Book of the Month Club, and we just finished James Clear's Atomic Habits, an easy and proven way to build good habits and break bad ones. And we thought it would be a good idea to share what we learned with you in the community. Overall, for someone who is a mix of fun and perfection, procrastinator, this book helped me like crazy. It was a fast read. Well, I listened to it on Audible, but unlike some of the personal development books I've read, I got a few excellent takeaways from it. So here's what we're going to talk about is helping you to create some better habits. So habit stacking and more. Four helpful takeaways that I got from reading Atomic Habits. Be 1% better every day. I love this message. Instead of thinking that we can turn into superhumans with endless reserves of determination, Clear simply tells us that we just need to focus on being a little bit better every month. So skip a workout. It happens. You're human. But the point is that thinking is to establish habits. If your goal is to lose 50 pounds, you're definitely not going to do it in a day. You may go hard for the first week or so of initial inspiration, and maybe further if you are more determined than the usual resolution makers. But it's unlikely. In a 4,000 person survey, Sundried found that 43% of people thought that they would have given up their goals within a month. But why do we start so determined and give up so quickly? Setting such big goals can make the journey to get there seem just impossible. One key thing I got from Atomic Habits is to build a habit, not a resolution. And one of the ways to do this is to just try to be a little bit better every day. So, example of small things adding up. Let's say that you switch from 18% creamer to 10% in the morning coffee. That can't make too big a difference, right? For fun, I did some quick math. 3 tablespoons of 18% coffee cream equals 90 calories. 3 tablespoons of 10% creamer equals 45 calories. I drink 3 cups of coffee a day on average. So if I successfully make the switch from 18% to 10% creamer. That's saving 135 calories a day. As my uncle would say, it's a bucket of sand off the beach. But if I did that every day, that's 49,725 calories a year, or the equivalent of 14 pounds. Hmm. Taking baby steps makes the end goal seem not so hard. And if you are 1% better every day, it will add up over time. You may have the right goals, but the wrong system. I'm one of those people who keeps losing and gaining the same 25 pounds over and over and over. I am able to stay on track if I feel motivated enough, but I always focus on losing weight. So I lose it, and then I don't know what to do. I start eating all the stuff I denied myself for the 6 months that I had a goal. And then I have no goal anymore. So I start gaining the weight back until a few months later, I realize I ate my way back. Sound familiar? Clear talks about building a system that will help you develop the habits to reach your goals when you fall in love with the process rather than the product. You don't have to wait to give yourself permission to be happy. You can be satisfied anytime that your system is running, said James Clear in Atomic Habits. Looking back now through a different lens, I can see where my system failed as soon as I reached my weight goal. I had a specific system that helped me lose weight, and I did the keto diet because I had to follow rules about what and how I ate. As soon as I stopped following the system and didn't replace it, everything fell apart. My goal was always lose weight. But maybe my goal should have been be a healthy person. That way, when I lose the weight, that my initial goal, I won't just stop and revert. I will continue following the system I created with the process that I had built into good eating and exercise habits. And three, the point to develop habits and stick to them, not to do them perfectly. I like this one too. Like many of you, I am very, very hard on myself. I tend to just not start something rather than do it and not have absolutely, or rather, than not have it be absolutely incredible. If I start a new workout regimen, a diet, or habit, I miss one day. I give up because I broke my streak and failed. I bet this sounds familiar, right? Missing once is an accident. Missing twice is the start of a new habit, said James Clear, Atomic Habits. Clear talks about his rule of never twice. So you miss one day of your new habit, but it's a walk after dinner, a swim in the public pool, watering your garden, doing your Spanish lesson. One day happens, but when you skip 2 days in a row, well, now you're developing a new habit away from your original. You don't have to be perfect. Just start something and keep it up, which leads to habit number 4, habit stacking or showing up. This one makes a lot of sense, and you can see how powerful it can be when you apply it in a way that works for you, in a way that you actually do it. Once you have an established habit, you stack another on top of it. So here are things that I do every day: walk my dog twice, do my Duolingo Spanish lesson, do morning yoga. I've been working on a habit where I practice yoga every morning when I get up. I don't focus on doing yoga for losing weight or how long I do it, but doing or being able to do a handstand. I just get up and do yoga every morning. If you want to start as well, yoga with Adrian has hundreds of free videos for all levels. Other than yoga, I am completely inconsistent with when I do almost everything. I sleep in, I end up doing my Spanish lesson in a rush, 5 minutes before I go to bed. Of course, I walk my dog, but now that it's summer out, it gets way too hot to take her out between the hours of 10 a.m. and 9 p.m. I find myself juggling to fit all these things in. So I am frazzled and distracted because I know I have to get them done, but I still procrastinate on them. Learning about Clear's habit stacking, I shuffled my schedule. Excuse me. I shuffle my schedule to layer them things together. Here's how I look at it now: get up at 8 a.m., walk my dog, do morning yoga. Whilst I'm still on my yoga mat, I do my Spanish lesson. Before I get up, do 25 push ups. I don't always get up at 8 a.m., and I don't always do yoga for the same amount of time. I definitely can't do push ups without being on my knees yet. But the point is, I now have a morning routine. I don't have to do it perfectly. I just have to show up because I was already in the habit of doing yoga every morning. Stacking the others on top of it is pretty simple. And when I say just show up, I mean, sometimes I find the shortest yoga video possible just to get it over with. I don't feel like doing it every day, but most days I really love it, and I always feel better afterwards. And the best part is, I'm done most of the things that I have to do before I start working. It's done. No procrastinating. Are you going to try atomic habits? Overall, I don't tend to read these kinds of books. I find them too detail oriented and dull. I get psyched up when I'm in the mist and then forget to lose interest. Clear really kept my interest with cool stories about his background and how he came about the ideas, plus a lot of fascinating stories about the history of behavioral psychology and how our brains are wired. He kept the language simple and comes across as though he's someone that you know, which didn't put me on the defensive. He also made his points clear. simple. So it's not hard to remember that the overall concepts, which I appreciate. His website can also has a ton of helpful articles on the subject of habits that could help you further if you do end up downloading or purchasing this book. We highly recommend checking it out. You can unlock his supplementary resources like how to apply atomic habits as a parent, whether it's habit stacking or just learning to be a little bit better than I was yesterday. I am psyched to keep building my system and see where it takes me over time. Learning new habits and making sure that you perform them right is very important. And learn it's not just learning those habits, but it's actually taking those habits and incorporating them into your daily lifestyle. Because once it becomes a lifestyle, then it becomes an easy way to build up those habits and keep them going over time.